we're going to jump right in. I am going to turn things around slightly from what's on the agenda today, just reorder it a little bit.
Did you have this right now?
Oh, the song's still playing, it's so cool. There we go. Okay. So, we are doing awesome again this month, and it's because of all of you. I wanted to congratulate all of you. Our financials are looking fabulous. Our total closed volume is $22,620,617. Woo! That took a lot of energy just to read that.
And that's a record month, guys. This is the highest
Fabulous. The units closed were 122 between the two offices. We've gotten 83 new listings.
Wow.
The total volume of our listings is 8,316,485. The average sales price is 185,415. So that's pretty cool also. The gross commission income for the two offices was $656,456. That is awesome. For July, our profit sharing was $5,318, which is super awesome. So we're just having an awesome month all the way around. So I'm really excited about that. Mr. Greg Wysocki is not here right now, correct?
Correct.
I want us to focus on the top in gross commission earned, which is on your agenda. Greg Wysocki was number one at $90,735,000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Think luxury agent, guys.
Yeah.
If I were
Just put that into focus.
I would
Yeah.
What'd you say, Ruth?
He's
a luxury agent.
My heart.
We could all be luxury agents.
Yes.
We can all be luxury agents.
That's right.
I am going to also congratulate Carolyn Muha. Would you please stand for us?
Go, Carolyn.
$45,045. Carolyn is also the newest member of our ALC, which is our Associate or Agent Leadership Council. So thank you for your commitment there and congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Michelle Wilcox is from the Perna team. Her gross commission was $22,136. That is awesome. Another gal on her team, Melissa, was at $19,317. And Denise Valor, who was not able to come in today, is at $16,793. So a round of applause for all of them. Our new associates from our office are Debbie Field and Shelley Colgrove. And I want to welcome you also to Alicia Pavlik. She is one of our new staff members. She will be helping to fill in at both offices on the weekends. She's a nursing student right now, and she's doing a great job. She was someone that Leif was fortunate enough to cross paths with. He made a great call with her. She's doing a fabulous job. So in addition to that, we've got Jeff Moore, Raven Mills, Nick Zioli, Rennie Hermes, am I pronouncing that correctly? They're also new associates. So if you see somebody that you don't recognize, please make sure you stop and say hello and offer to get to know them a little bit. It means a lot to our newer people. And we've all been new at one point or another, so that is important. The market share contest, I wanted to update you on that. The winners for July, it was the Perna team with 5 points, and individually it was Jack Johnson and Bob Katner with 3 points. Lizzie does a fabulous job of explaining how we earn points for the market share contest. If you bring in a new listing, it's 2 points. Would you like to do the explanation of the market share contest?
Come up front.
How we get points?
Everybody stare at Liz.
Lizzie.
Just remember all bacon strips.
Oh, we'll play.
Lady.
Okay, so does everyone actually know the
First time.
I think you are liars, that is fine. So we want to dominate the market in both Rochester and Troy. How do you do that? You get your name up on a listing in Rochester or Troy. Rochester Hills don't care, I count with both. So if you list a property in Rochester or Troy, you get 2 points. You sell a property in Rochester or Troy, you get 1 point. We are trying to keep it fair, so there is a grouping for teams and there's a grouping for individuals. Is anybody's game, and we are going to have a grand prize winner for both teams and individuals at our end of the year party. Participate!
What's the start and end date then? What's the start and end date then?
Obviously, it's over here.
Yeah, it's for the whole year.
I think we started, when did we start it?
April.
April to the end of the year.
So get moving.
For real though, it's anybody's game.
Thank you for your attention and for your awesome explanation, Lizzie. Leif is going to do his broker update now.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
How do you like the exercise we just had?
Very nice.
2 seconds, you know, every 2-second count. I'm not going to do so much of an update. It's the normal stuff. I'm going to talk about the loops for a minute because it's still the same issue. Please clean your loops. Anything that's incomplete, just archive it. Because I see a lot of like all these wire signature, all these other signature, they're not valid. Just you don't need it on your loop. So make your loop clean, archive whatever is not valid. Basically, that's all I want to tell you. But I'm going to talk about Mega Camp for a minute. So we just came back from Mega Camp, and I came back with a lot of ideas that I want to implement for my business, and I want everybody here to implement for their business. We had a great group with us, and I think we had a little mastermind, and everybody pitched in a lot of ideas that I think are worth sharing. My take from it was basically make my goals bigger than what it is. So you guys have goals, and every time you set your goals, you set them where you could achieve them, right? So you want to be realistic, right? Forget about it. Don't be realistic anymore. You don't want to be realistic because that's what limits you. That's what sets you back. If you say, I want to get into this business and make 100 grand, and that's what the realistic number is, make it 200. Don't be realistic. I don't want you to be realistic. My goal for you all to be millionaires. Think $1 million. It's doable, it's possible. There's quite a few people in this company who's netting $1 million every year. Every year, they net $1 million. And I could count more than I could, at least more than the fingers on my hand. So I know a lot of people that got into the business 4 or 5 years ago, and they're netting $1 million today. So why not me? They're not better than me.
Yeah.
They're not better than you. So everybody here have the same opportunity. And it's done in this company. We have the systems, we have the models. What's stopping you? You're the only person who's stopping yourself. So double your goal. Whatever your goal is, if it's $1, make it 2. Okay? So that's my one takeaway from it. My second takeaway, it might not apply to everybody, they should hire the right people or find the right people to help you. Okay? If you can't hire someone, find someone who can help you. But they have to be the right people. If you're doing $1 million in sales, don't go and try to get advice from someone who's doing 500,000. If you're doing $5 million in sales, get an advice, get some mastermind and stuff, but find the right person who's doing it better than you, and go hang out with them. Okay? Because nobody's perfect. I don't know everything. I'm going to go and find it out. Every time I go to one of these events, I find something new out. Every time, never miss. And that one thing that I know, or found out from that event, yield 10 times more than what I spent. I guarantee you that. So make it a point to be in one of these events. Mega Camp, Family Reunion, Mega Camp has something called masterminds. This is my favorite thing. It's 10 people sitting at a table, masterminding how to solve a problem. You should do that every day. That's something we do every day, but we might not do it at a high level. We should do that every week, every month. Sit down and mastermind a problem you have today. What's your problem today? Is it appraisal? Is it inspection? Is it no listings? Is it no buyers? Is it buyers who's unrealistic? You can sit down and come up with a good script or a good solution for that problem. You just have to mastermind, okay? So my take is double my goal or make my goal as big as possible, hire or find the right people to help me, put the right systems in place. That's the third thing. So these are the three things I'm going to implement in my business. Make my goal as big as possible, hire the right people, or find the right people to help me, and have the right systems, which we have them. You just have to use them. You just have to identify them and use them. And believe me, whatever your goal is, you can achieve it. You're the only one who's stopping you from achieving it. You just break through that mindset and go to $1 million. One more thing, I watched this lady that I think she's doing a really cool thing. She sold $200 and some million in sales last year. She doesn't have a huge team. I think 6 people or 7 people on her team. So about 7 people sold over $200 million in production. Her number one thing, or her one thing I should say, and that's another thing, you gotta have one thing that you focus on. Her one thing was open houses. Open houses. How does she do it? Every week, all her listings are open. Every week. She committed to open house all her listings, whatever listings she had, every week. Every listing had a minimum of 15 signs for that open house. So just imagine, you're in Rochester, you have 10 listings. You have 5 listings. You have 5 listings in Rochester. You worked really hard to get these 5 listings. And then you tell your team, or you come here and say, who wants to open house my listings? You have listings in the $200,000-$300,000 range. I could find you 50 people here who wants to open house in these listings. So if you have 5 listings times 15 signs, that's 75 signs that you're gonna paint the city with it. Okay? And you do it every week, and your name is on that sign. How effective is that? How much business do you think you can get out of this? And guess what? After doing it for a while, she decided to test it. So she did not do it for a couple weeks. She got calls from people in the neighborhood asking her what's going on. Are you okay? How cool is that?
Yeah.
So pick your one thing. I'm not telling everyone to go and do that, which go ahead and do it. But pick that one thing that's gonna make you different. Pick that one thing. Go and mastermind. Go and we have 134,000 people in this company. And a good 20% of it are doing that one thing. It's a 20-80 rule, right? The 20% of the company making the 80% of the money. So that 20% of 138 is 26,000. 26,000 and some change, right? There's 26,000 ideas out there. Go grab one. Make your own. So that's what I got out of Make It Count. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He just amazes me. His memory and the way he can articulate great ideas. Thank you for that, sir. I'm going to turn this over to Lizzie in just a moment to do the MCA update, if you have anything. But I wanted to mention something. Denise, our lovely Director of First Impressions, she's not here today. She's moving her daughter up to school, so this is going to be a tough day for her, but a good one. She'll find out soon enough. But she wanted me to mention a couple of things. When giving the listing paperwork to the front desk, all the information needs to be filled out. You can't leave it up to the front desk to fill in the property measurements or the room sizes and things like that. Also, all of the information needs to be filled out on the seller's disclosure. We cannot touch that seller disclosure, okay? You need to make sure that your clients have filled that out in its entirety. So make sure you look that over before you bring it back to the office and turn it in.
That's my broker update, guys.
And in addition to that, the disclosures need to be signed. She's getting some seller's disclosures that are not signed. Can't have that. We need signatures. And it's to your benefit because that paperwork can be put up on RealComp or My Real Source, so when an agent wants to make an offer, they don't have to call you and hunt you down for that paperwork. It's already there for them. In addition to that, the pictures sent, and if you do not include pictures when you turn in a listing, that's going to delay making your listing live. So please make sure that you send Denise photographs so you can give her a little jump drive with your photos on it, or at least give her a couple of pictures if you want to upload them on your own. She needs, the front of the house as a minimum. So make sure that you're doing that so we can get your listings live and in action right away. So thank you for that. And Lizzie, whenever you're ready.
Yay, Liz.
Woo!
Hi, I'm not your MCA. Okay, so I have a question. Does everyone here have a business goal? A business goal. Do you have an amount of money you want to make?
Yes.
I feel like that was a not solid answer. Oh, maybe. All right, so has anyone logged into the GCI calculator?
Yep.
I know you have.
Yes.
All right, so I was just wondering if maybe you wanted to poke around, give it a little look-see. You can enter your goals, and it gives you a very clear picture of what you need to do to achieve those goals. It'll take you like 2 seconds. It does prompt you for a stupid little code. Any one of your staff members can give it to you, but it's a really easy Cliff Notes version of what you need to do to achieve your goals. My second update, which is completely unrelated, is you may have noticed 1 or 2 weird emails coming through from friends, family, or Angela yesterday. I sent out a follow-up email about email safety. Please, if something looks suspicious, if it's important, somebody's going to call you and say, did you get my email? Some of you may not be familiar with what a suspicious attachment looks like. If you're not that familiar, install some antivirus software. Hover over a link before you open it. A PDF is probably not going to take you to a third-party site. If you're ever confused, call me. I will look at it for you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I just love her. Yes, sir.
She mentioned one thing, hover over the PDF. If it has a www or something, then it's not an attack. So that's one way to find out if it's a scam or not. If you see, and most of them don't have, in the body of the email will say, here's your offer, or we accepted your offer, and it has a PDF. So when you see something like this, most likely it's a scam.
Or if it's been BCC'd to you.
Yeah. Get this done what?
A blind person value.
BCC.
All right. Thank you. Good advice. So, the moment I've been waiting for like 2 weeks, I'm so excited to tell you all about what we did at Mega Camp. Is everybody aware that we were at Mega Camp?
Yes.
And I have a bag full of goodies here, so be alert because I'm going to be throwing out some things to people that you get to eat. There you go. So,
Not a good thrower.
I put together a Mega Camp recap that I want you to pay close attention to. This is a really, really exciting part of my day and my business and working with all of the Austin agents because I just want to say one thing to preface this whole presentation. The longer I'm involved with Keller Williams, the more and more and more and more I feel blessed. So I want to thank Leif for giving me this opportunity. This is, I just can't believe the thought and the care and the attention that goes into Mega Camp and that goes into conducting a company that really has a mission, vision, and values that we all can relate to. They're constantly looking at ways to improve. Gary Keller spends millions of dollars out of his own pocket in researching, so he can always stay a step ahead and lead us in the right direction. So before I begin this presentation, anybody that attended Mega Camp, would you please stand? These are the folks that came to Mega Camp. If you have questions, you want to find out more about what we're talking about today, please talk to one of them as well to get another perspective. So moving right along, I've put together what I feel are my biggest takeaways from Mega Camp. So let's take a look at what I have here. If you've never been to a Keller Williams event, it's better than any concert I've ever been to. It's pretty awesome. So Keller Williams International as a whole, the net agent count is up 20% year to date. But look at this, when we're comparing ourselves to what we did in 2011, our net growth increased by 2,000%. I can't even fathom what that really means, but I know that no other company is doing this. So that's just incredible and mind-blowing. Units are up 17% year to date. Volume is up 21% and up 194% since 2011 when this whole career growth initiative first started. And the profit share growth share is up 189% since 2011. What does that number mean for you? That means if you don't have anybody in your downline or your profit share tree, you need to start looking at agents that you're working with, that you have co-op deals with, that you liked, and you think they would fit in well here. Invite them to come on over and talk with me. We can have lunch, we can have coffee, whatever, but it's an opportunity for you to get in on the action and start creating that residual income that you can enjoy later on. The media attention, I kind of touched on this in our business meeting, or at our ALC meeting earlier. Keller Williams is the only real estate franchise to make the Franchise Times Fast and Serious list of smartest growing brands. We're getting recognition from organizations outside of real estate at this point in the game. Next, the Franchise Business Review. We're on the best of the best list. That's pretty incredible. Keller Williams has more teams by size than any franchise on the Real Estate Trends and Wall Street Journal list of top agents and teams. So we're topping lists that are on the Wall Street Journal. Imagine that. RAS Media, we're on the list of top 500 brokerages by volume. Keller Williams has 146 offices, making the franchise for the first time the #1 power broker brand. So you are part of that power broker brand. That's something that you can share with other people and you can be proud of. Training Magazine recognizes Keller Williams for Outstanding Training Initiative for Leadership Week training. Chief Learning Officer Brian Ellington was named as the top 5 emerging training leaders. Sorry about that, I think I have a typo there. In the last 4 years, Stanford Graduate School of Business has studied and recognized Keller Williams culture and found evidence of an exceptionally strong culture with little variation across market centers. So that means when I went on my vacation with my family in June, and we went to Fort Myers, Florida, and I found a little Keller Williams office that was really a business center, and I walked in there, and I said, they didn't think too much of me walking in there, they don't know who I am, and I said, hey, I just wanted to stop in and say hi. My name is Julie Papani, I'm a team leader at a Keller Williams in Rochester, Michigan. You would have thought that President Obama walked in the door. They rolled out the red carpet for me. They told me that, too bad we didn't know you were here yesterday. They had a Con Ed event with a huge party on the beach afterwards. They said you would have been more than welcome to come with your family. That's the culture of Keller Williams, and that's just a small part of what we do. This really baffled me. We have worldwide momentum. Keller Williams welcomed guests from around the world to Mega Camp. More than 200 guests from 24 countries attended. The newest Keller Williams worldwide regions are France and Monaco, Israel, Nicaragua, and Poland. We are now 31 countries strong. So what does that mean for us? One of our, I can't remember who was talking about this now. I think it was Jeff Todd and one of our guests were talking about going to Belize on a trip to see if they could drum up interested realtors so we could start a franchise there. So think about that.
I'm opening one in
I'm
the
telling
Bahamas,
you, in the
so
Bahamas.
whoever wants to go to the Bahamas with me, you know.
Just imagine that we're in 31 countries. That's pretty incredible. Mastering production. Training is the path to success. In a few minutes, I'm going to be talking about the shift that we're going to be experiencing very shortly. This is paramount to your future success. Getting involved with Ignite and continuing with Bold after that, and then eventually getting involved in MAPS coaching is the thing that can take you from 0 to hero with your productivity and your gross commissions. So I want you to keep thinking about what we're offering on a monthly and weekly basis. We're going to be offering Ignite every single month. We're going to be doing some classes here and in Troy. We're not going to make you, go back and forth. We want you to soak up all of this knowledge that you can so that you can be ahead of our competition always. Bold graduates see 79% increase in GCI intake, 128% more seller listings. That's huge. That's going to be a huge part of your future success and staying ahead of the curve when we actually go into the shift. In addition, Ignite students average 1.6 closed units, 1.1 listings taken, and 3.2 contracts written, which equals 43,000 in GCI. If you're not taking advantage of these things, that's money that's falling out of your wallet. So keep that in mind. Mastery coaching comes next, and it helps you expand and get into other markets as well. So think about those things. Expansion. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but we saw a lot of people at Mega Camp who are expanding into new marketplaces. Mike Pern is a great example. He was in the Novi, Northville area. That's his home office. Now he's got a hub here where he has a whole group of people working along with him. And you can do that too once you get involved, build your business up. The sky is the limit. That's what I want you to understand. Just like Leif was saying earlier, there's no limit to what you can do. Last month we highlighted Greg because he made $90,000 in commissions in 1 month. Yep, he's a luxury specialist. Yep, he's been in this business for many, many years. But you know what? Greg didn't start out making $90,000 a month. His business is on the incline, and his business keeps improving. Yours should be too, so that eventually you can get to those higher levels, and you will. And we're here to help you. That's what this leader team is all about, the leadership team. I'm really excited to announce some new technology. Who here likes technology?
Afraid of it.
Yeah, everyone seems a little subdued here, but I'm really excited. Are you ready for it? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, let's go. Your new free awesome app is called Profit Dash. You ready for this? I'm going to show you this first. Profit Dash is a super awesome new product that's available to us that syncs with your Keller Williams account, and it works along with your real finances at the listing level. It can sync up with your bank accounts, so it can tell you how much income you're creating, how much income you have. It'll show you graphs and show you when you're up or you're down. All of your commissions and expenses will be in one place. You'll know your true profit after expenses and taxes. This is a real eye-opener because the app will also intuitively tell you what is a tax write-off and what is not. So when you get ready for tax time in April, this app can be your guide for taxes. You'll get help within the app, and it tracks your spending against your budget model. This is all based off of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent model, which is incredible. They just launched this when we were at Mega Camp, okay? And yesterday, look at the email that I got. We've released an updated version of Profit Dash in 2 weeks. They've already updated it. They updated the fact that your commission data will reflect your numbers after splits and fees. That's huge. There's expense categories. You'll see new categories within the application. You can now add all your historical tax payments to Profit Dash. That way you have a clearer picture of what you owe. That's really important, isn't it? Knowing how much you're going to owe to Uncle Sam. And they're going to be adding a mileage tracker that will work automatically when you get in your car. So make sure you download this app. I think you're going to love it. We're really, really excited about it. Again, it's called Profit Dash.
Is it only for Keller Williams agents?
This is exclusive to us, yes, sir. Just for Keller Williams agents. Keller Williams, the KW Connect is your portal to all things Keller Williams. Are you all aware that there's a new login called One Login? Okay, so make sure that you're using that. There are growth initiative tools that Lizzie was talking about earlier. If you don't know what your financial goals are, quite honestly, when I got into business, I didn't have any goals. I didn't know what kind of a goal was realistic for someone like me in my circumstance, you know, being a young, really cute mom with little kids back in the day. So I needed help with that. I'm here to help you. We can schedule a 15-minute appointment and talk about your business. We really, really need to do that. I'm going to be having office hours every week, so please jump on my bandwagon. Get involved with the growth initiative tools because it's going to be paramount to your success when the shift happens. And if you don't believe me, just believe me because I don't want to have to go back and say I told you so. Does anybody have any questions? Mega Camp was super awesome. Who thinks that they can change the world? Anybody? All right, would you pass this down to my dear friend?
Throw it.
That one can hurt. So, does anyone like to have a cold drink after work, or maybe even during work? I got some of these. Oops. They're yours for the
I
taking.
wonder why I didn't throw it.
These are little gifts that we got at Mega Camp. So we're sharing the love. We've got pens here. I don't want to poke anybody's eye out.
Throw the bench.
These cool little things for you ladies. Does anyone need a mustache for Halloween that's coming up? There you go.
Here you go, guys. You're all set.
Rod, you need it.
I just need hair.
So here we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. I wanted to let you know that we just came back from a leadership training a couple of days ago, and I did pull away some interesting information from that meeting, which I really, really, really want to share with you. And I don't quite remember where it is.
Right here.
Here we go. This is it. So Gary wanted to, when we were at Mega Camp, these are my actual notes from the leadership meeting that we had. So let's just talk for a minute about Shift, okay? Shift is a book that Gary Keller wrote prior to the last shift that we had around 2008, 2009, okay? I just ordered some of these books. I would love to have you pass around this bowl, put in a business card. I'm going to do a drawing from one of these books. We have some available for sale. They're $15, and if you're interested, talk to Lizzie or myself. So don't let me forget to draw a name when I'm done with
That's
this.
one card. Don't put
So,
15 cards in.
I apologize, this isn't a little bit bigger and easier to see, but I transferred this right from a program on the iPad.
One per ed.
Yeah, I got it, thank you.
So a shift is about to happen, and we're going to play to win. This is really your opportunity to win. The anatomy of a shift, which I think we need to spend a few minutes talking about, and I know I'm talking longer than I normally do. At least I hope I don't normally talk this much. But we really need to focus on what the shift is and what it means for you and your business. The 5 truths of the anatomy of a shift is you can't predict it. It's swift and unpredictable. It's not triggered or driven by the economy. They're often driven by prices and the emotions that buyers have around them and the demographics. What's going to happen is you're going to have some buyers who choose emotionally not to pay a price for a house. So at some point, a buyer is going to be looking at homes and think, I don't care what the market is for that home and that price range, I'm not going to pay that price. And they're going to decide to walk away from it. And then you're going to have another buyer and another buyer and another buyer decide the same thing, and suddenly you have a pool of buyers who are like, hey, wait a minute, I'm not paying that price. That's when we know we're going to start to see a shift. Right now, our market time is pretty short. We're doing a lot of highest and best, a lot of multiple offers. You're going to start to see a change. Regionally, we've seen a change already happening over the last 2 months. Wouldn't it be great if I actually lost my voice? It feels like that's what happened.
It wouldn't be great.
Thank you, I really wouldn't. So we're already seeing a 2-month trend, but we can't say we're in a shift yet because we're at a tipping point. It's going to happen or it's not going to happen, and at the end of this month, when the numbers are reported regionally, we'll know for sure that the shift has started, and that's what we're expecting. That's why I wanted to talk to you about this today. The shift is really going to expose the leadership, not only of our market center, but also in each of you and your teams. And if you're a one-man or one-woman show, you really are going to need to step it up. So here's what the shift does. It brings fear and uncertainty. Fear scatters activities. And then you're going to start to feel like, oh my God, I've got to do all of these. You're going to step back and not do anything. And that is not what we want you to do. That's why I was talking about Ignite and Bold. That's coming in October. And getting involved with Matt's coaching. Because those are the things that are going to carry you through the tougher times. So you need to realize that a lot of people that you come into contact with are not as successful as you, even if it's just in their mindset, and they're going to take the victim attitude. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. Now I have to go get a job, right? Don't let that be you. You're not a victim here. Something that I want to point out that I learned in my success series yesterday with Sandra Commenti, who was here a couple months ago. Barb and I and a couple of other people have been participating with her. She said, okay, if we look at this word, this is kind of negative. We don't really have problems in this business. And if you can't see in the back, this says challenge, okay? We don't have problems, we have challenges. Would everyone agree?
Yes.
Yes.
But if we took out 3 letters, what's the word? Change. This is our opportunity to change, okay? And we can change the way we're doing things and then change the way that we're perceiving things. So, do you want to survive or just thrive? How do you beat a shift? You get real serious about your goals, which Lace started out talking about earlier. You need to bring laser focus. How many times did we hear that at Mega Camp? Laser focus. You need to be laser focused on your activities. I just talked to my coach about this the other day. One of the other things Gary Keller is telling us to do is to get into the office 2 hours earlier. Okay, that's going to kill me because I'm not a morning person. I'm lucky if I get here before 9 o'clock, but I'm really working to get here by 7:30. When I get here, I can't look at emails, I can't field phone calls, I need to be prospecting, prospecting, prospecting. Lead generation activities have to be our focus if we're going to stay ahead of the game. So Gary Keller pointed out that when we're going through a shift, right? We have the opportunity to gain market share. Does that make sense? Because there's a lot of agents out there at all of these other companies that don't know what the heck a shift is. They don't know that we're coming upon a shift, and they're not gonna know what to do when we are in the middle of it. And Gary's telling us it's our opportunity to gain market share. And a lot of people, like Jeff, probably Kevin, Neil, and a lot of the other agents here actually grew their business and hung on to that new market share when they went through the last shift. So Gary tells us to be laser focused, hit it doubly hard right now to stock up for winter. So think about the farmers, right? When you're planting seeds, they need to cultivate those plantings that they made by watering it, keeping in touch with them and all of that kind of thing to get the new business going in the future for their future harvest. You need to do the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In addition to that, if you're spending money on things, you need to really look at your finances, your budgets, think about where you could cut expenses, because we need to definitely need to lead with revenue and tighten the belt a little bit. Please understand, if any of you are not familiar with the last shift we went through, this is not expected to be a market crash where, you know, the big three are talking about going out of business and claiming bankruptcy. We're definitely going to see a shift. We're definitely going to see, you know, prices can only rise for so long, and we're at that point where it's got to level off and might even go down a little bit. We might see interest rates going up. It's not going to be all end all, but if you're relying on this business of yours to supply an income for you and your family, then you darn well better pay attention, because these are the tactics that you can use to stay you don't want to be, you know, to stay profitable, okay? So this is it. We're starting a shift now. Are you going to embrace the shift and see this as a new opportunity to change? Are you going to get laser focused, and will you spend more time doing lead generation activity? What do you need to do to winterize your business? If you need help with that, talk to me, talk to Leif, talk to Joe and Troy. Training, accountability, role play partners, coaching, education, those are all things that you can do to strengthen who you are as an agent, how you're perceived by your clientele and your past clients, and how to keep moving forward. Remember, we're in this together, we're a team. We're here to support you and to love you and to cheer you on. And remember, you don't have problems, we have challenges. And we can put our heads together to overcome those challenges. So we encourage you, we cheer you on. Let's do this, and we're gonna start now. Woohoo!
Yay!
Did I get everybody's cards that wanted to throw them in? How about we have our gal here, can you take a card for us? Thank you so much. And our lovely winner is Shay.
Yes, Jay.
Start reading it and we'll discuss it, okay?
Yeah, the book report's
Anyone
due next
else?
meeting.
If that's interested, we do have more of these shift books, $15. Let Lizzie or I know. And thank you for being so patient with me today. I really do appreciate it. We're going to move forward now. Joe Fuca is going to come up and give you an update.
Hey, Joe.
You know, 2 weeks ago, we were talking, or was that last week, whatever, in Troy. We were just talking about the industry as a whole, from what you guys deal with, what we deal with. And I kind of got sidetracked on something, and as I was getting sidetracked, I realized that I kind of struck a nerve, if you will, with some of the agents in here, and I wanted to strike that same nerve in this room, because it changes maybe how you look at a transaction that we're dealing with today. The real estate market is kind of like Times Square. I-75 at rush hour, the strip on Las Vegas, it's very congested. And what you need to do as an agent is to kind of navigate your way through the situation. Not a lot of inventory out there, as everybody knows. So what's happening is people are willing to overpay for a house. We had a situation where one of the agents in here had a place listed. Their offer was coming in on a VA deal over ask price when the agent was concerned about where this house would even appraise to begin with. Simple phone call, we kind of talked through it a little bit to realize that if it's a VA loan, your buyer has no money, they're getting full concessions from your seller. How are they gonna come up with the shortage once this thing doesn't appraise? We knew it wasn't gonna appraise. So she ended up taking a different offer on that property. Little things like that, you guys, that's what I'm here for. You know, Julie was talking about the team thing. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Other issues that I've seen is you need to take a strong stance as a listing agent on your list price, on your listings. What I've been seeing happen, and it's been a little strange to see this happen, but you guys need to control this. And it's not hard to control. You have a house, I'm gonna make up a number, $200,000. You're a little concerned about that house appraising, yet you see 5 houses down, the same house is pending right now. You guys don't let the appraiser into your home. Hit the timeout button, don't come in. Nope, we're not gonna set up the appointment right now. Get a hold of that other agent, find out when that deal's gonna close. Do you realize that you can't use a pending sale in that appraisal? It does not give you value. If you come back and say, well, I'll just wait till it closes, we'll rebut the appraisal. An appraiser can only use the comps that are closed on the date of that inspection and before. So if you see one getting ready to close, stop the appraisal. Just say, nope, I'll reschedule it. Call the lender, whoever it is, call the other agent, sound the bell. Guys, I put this on hold, this is why. Because I promise you it's easier to deal with that situation than it is if the house doesn't appraise and you come back and say, oh crap. Now we gotta start all over again, get a new buyer, and hope to God it actually sells. If you got a good buyer right there, just kind of work your way through it. Talk to the lender. Hey lender, I'm holding your appraiser off. This is why. If the appraiser is, or if the lender is a decent lender, they're gonna understand instead of trying to force your hand and making it work because it doesn't make sense. So look around. Take your time. If you see something getting ready to go, do it. You know, if you get a bad appraisal, I always say that, you know, don't reach into your seller's pocket and pull that money out. Call me on those. The other thing is that with this market being so busy on our side, these appraisers, you guys, are getting beaten up so bad by everybody. They're walking out of the industry. They don't even want to do it anymore. Fannie Mae has developed their website, and then within their website, they have put factors of where they're compiling data. And they almost feel that they know what that house should appraise for. So what happens is that once you get your appraisal, you run it through their system. They're gonna grade it 1 through 5. 5 is the worst. 5 is the highest risk. They're basically telling these appraisers, if you come in too low, not good enough. If you come in too high, not good enough. You better come in just right. And these appraisers are like, well, if it's just right, why don't you guys just do your own appraisal? They're walking out. Because what is just right? It's whatever a computer system says. So there's a backlog. As an agent, get on that phone and find out what's going on with the file. Find out what's going on with the appraisal. Stay on top of things. I'm seeing transactions taking 90 days from banks. 90 days. You know, stay on top of things. See what you guys can do about pushing stuff along. Sometimes you got to get in front of, you know, the situation and fix it. The other thing we had talked about when we were talking about condos, and I brought this up before, guys, we are doing non-conforming condos with 5% down. A non-conforming condo is a condo that is not FHA approved. It does not meet Fannie Mae's guidelines. So therefore, you can't get a mortgage on it. We're doing those with 5% down. So that could help save a good amount of transactions. Technically, we're doing them regular condos with 3% down, non-conforming with 5%. So if you come across those condos, let me know. I appreciate all the questions that I get. I love actually dissecting situations to see if they make sense. You know, I'm finding lenders right now are just throwing stuff against the wall because they're so busy, don't care, they don't look. They'll figure, you know, here's your approval letter and just give it back to me when you get a house. They don't even look. You know, so asking a question, I used to get offended when I get a call from an agent saying, well, I'm looking at your approval letter. Did you look at the income? Did you look at the credit? Do they have the funds? In my mind, I'm going, what the hell would I send out a pre-approval letter for if I didn't do those things? But I'm finding loan officers aren't looking at those things. How much you gonna put down? Yeah, okay. How much you made? Yeah, do you have good credit? Yeah, okay, here you go, done. Because they don't wanna bother. Ask the questions, guys. Make somebody accountable for that approval letter. You know, if you're not getting that comfortable feeling, pick up the phone and call me. Hey, you know, this doesn't sound right. What does this sound like to you? You know, little things like that can save a lot of transactions and save a lot of headache. And right now, we're counselors, we're babysitters, we're, you know, loan officers, realtors. We gotta do everything in order to make something work. Because that's what it takes to get things to close. So get involved. Bring me in. I don't have to take the loan from anybody just to throw my 2 cents in here and kind of give you things to look at. So, who has any questions as of now? Jeff, you always have questions. Isn't that in the room? Is that what you said?
Where'd you go?
I don't have a question, but I gotta give a testimonial here. We closed the deal yesterday that I don't think anybody could have closed it. We had to refinance a house, put it in somebody else's name, and go through so many hoops to close it. So, you know, I just wanna give a testimonial to Joe. If you have a deal that you think is not gonna close, give him a call. If you have a deal, great, give him a call.
You guys, yeah, before you take something that's gonna go sideways, don't throw your paycheck away. Just because one lender says they can't do a loan, doesn't mean that loan can't get done. Hey, you get a second opinion, call this guy, he's not gonna charge you. Takes me usually on the phone 5 minutes to be able to get an idea of whether something can or cannot get done. Pick up the phone, make the phone call, it can't hurt. You know, you're actually looking out for a client, they'll appreciate that. I try not to blow the people off and just say, no, bye. Hey, you know what? Because of your credit situation, you're gonna have to wait this amount of time. While you're in that time frame, why don't you go online and Google which credit cards you could open up. Maybe open up a couple credit cards, keep your balances low, keep them for 6 months, and then it'll help bring your score up to where it needs to be, plus you're waiting that period of your bankruptcy or foreclosure or whatever. You know, little things like that, try not to blow people off. And also keep in mind that everybody has different guidelines. Every lender has different guidelines. Foreclosure guidelines are a disaster. Everybody's got different guidelines. And I know you guys want to get moving, but just to let you know, government sets of guidelines here. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, VA, whoever. These are their guidelines. The banks put overlays on top of that. So they may call a bank and they might say, nope, you gotta wait 2 more years. You gotta wait this, you gotta do that. 7 years for conventional. It's not necessarily the case, guys. Just pick up the phone and call me. Any other questions?
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much. In my enthusiasm, I almost forgot to do our awards. The Perna team wins for July for listing units taken, or listing units for the team. Bob Katner is being recognized for getting 4 listings and 1.35 in volume for the month. And Greg Wysocki, who is not here, again, congratulations on the successful closing of $3,243,500 in volume for the month. And the Perna team also got one for closer team. So congratulations to everybody for that. Last but not least, we have our Spotlight vendor. Yes, and I'll get to you in just 1 second, I'm sorry. We have a Tigers game next week. We have a party bus leaving from, did you want to talk about it?
Yeah, from Troy at 11:30. It's a 1 o'clock game. Tickets and bus are $40, so it should be a real good time. I think there's 14 tickets left. So we'll have a sign-up sheet out front.
There's one right here.
Perfect.
We'll pass it around here, and then we'll put it up at the front desk.
You can buy tickets for yourself, friends, family,
We've opened it up.
clients, vendors.
We're gonna have a bus going, and we're gonna have a party in the bus, so that's the main event.
Party bus.
The Tiger game is just a side thing, but the main event is the party.
They're not gonna make it in.
All right, and without further ado, I'd like to introduce our spotlight vendor. And this is Elizabeth Whitley Interiors, Elizabeth Whitley from Elizabeth Whitley Interiors. Thank you.
I have lunch for you in the little room back there, so.
Oh, sorry.
Like
you already.
This would probably be 10 minutes, but I'm just gonna go very, very quickly. My name is Elizabeth Whitley. I own Elizabeth Whitley Interiors. I am not an interior designer, that's part of what I do, but I'm really here to help you with your listings. Specifically, listings that are stagnant, that have been on the market for a while, and estate liquidations and senior transitions are really the three things that I am doing. I was going to do like a little Q&A, but we've kind of gone over. So just what does a perfect listing consist of? I think something that's market ready, that sells quickly, and that sells for top dollar. Those things that are really valuable to you as real estate agents. Some of the obstacles to a perfect listing, I'm just thinking of a stagnant seller. So again, something that's been on the market for a long time, or I'm sorry, a seller who is unable to get their house ready to list. So again, maybe the tenant has passed away and the kids are responsible for clearing out the house and getting rid of all of the property and the belongings in the home and getting the home up to date, repaired, painted, landscaped, everything that needs to be done to get a home ready to list, especially one that's been lived in for 20 or 30 years. It's a big challenge for kids in my generation and your generation when parents or loved ones die. So the other thing would be a stagnant listing. If a listing just is not ready to be shown, and you were talking earlier about doing lots of open houses, I do cleaning, I do landscaping, anything that needs to be done to get your so just things when I'm working with a homeowner, giving them a vision for what their house could look like and what needs to be done, just very basic things that don't cost a lot of money but make a huge difference when a potential buyer walks in. If the carpet's gross, if it smells bad, if the lawn is overgrown, the paint is needs to be updated, those kinds of things, and letting them know that it's very realistic to get done. I'm one point of contact. I do a lot of the work myself, and I also contract out work. And so just giving a vision to sellers to give them a sense that they can get these things done in a timely manner, especially when you're dealing with estate situations. And my goal is to deliver you a market-ready home that can sell quickly. And similar things for more of a stagnant listing. Again, just helping a seller understand that the steps aren't huge, but small things make a huge difference in helping them to sell their home quickly. A little before and after. Okay, before, during, there's me. I do a lot of work myself. There we go, cleaning carpet, pulling it out. Yep. After. And hopefully it will be soon. So there you go. So I wanted to go quickly. Any questions? Yes.
Price point.
It's really based on the job. So my bids are very thorough. I really try to itemize everything as detailed as possible so that a seller can look and say, I don't want to paint, but I do need new carpet. I do need new landscaping, but I don't need my basement cleaned out. Those kinds of things. So the bid will be very
free bid. You'll come over and review
yes,
the
my
property.
estimates are free.
Do you handle like estate sales for belongings too?
Yes.
Okay. And do you do that or do you farm that out?
Both. I try to do as much of everything. I try to do as much myself,
Okay.
but I do have really good contractors who work on my home here in Rochester, and I know Keller Williams because when I moved here from Oregon in 2011, Jeff Todd sold us our home.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
forget
We
it.
won't hold that against you.
Will you go in and actually work with the homeowner on like organizing and
I do.
things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you say can you?
Yeah, do you work with the homeowner when
They
they
do.
do the homeowner?
Yes.
So you don't do
Yep.
staging?
I do staging.
You do staging?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other
What's,
questions?
is there like a price on staging or is it? case
No,
by
it's
case?
just everything would have to be by the job, so we have to go in and take a look, and I can work directly with you. If you want to be the, the point of contact with the seller, I can work directly with the seller. Whatever's easiest for you.
So you don't do it per hour for staging?
It would be more like probably per week, but yeah, that would just be, it would depend on how many rooms and how long it would be staged for, that kind of thing.
And free estimates, right?
I'm sorry.
Free estimates?
Yes. Free estimates, yes.
So do you bring stuff in for staging, or you use what they have, or you do both?
Both, yeah,
Okay.
both. My website is more comprehensive.
Okay.
I was really trying to keep it quick for
Do you
everybody.
have brochures or flyers of some kind?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a brochure or?
I have
flyer?
business cards, yes. I will leave them with lunch.
And you know what else, real quick, guys? I've used Elizabeth for 3 different sales. They're all pending because of her. It's nice to have a second opinion. They may trust you, but when you have a professional coming in for either
They listen to
staging or
them.
cleaning or painting or carpet, she's a good source. So I would recommend her highly.
Would you do after closing, like if someone wants to do paint, carpet, stuff like that?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Go next to what? Rara?
Okay, you guys, so it pays to attend your business meeting, so right now I'm going to draw for a free office bill, your standard office bill, so it'll be $56 off.
Wait, how do you get?
I don't like you. Well, let's see what's looking ticket.
Good job, security.
I have a ticket for a Mr. Kevin Whittingham.
Hey!
You guys, thanks for coming.
He wasn't even here! I was going to tell you, you better don't back him up.
You said somebody.
Hey, this is the first time for everything.
You're all about to show.
Oh, yeah.